is from Malaysia. Nick was given a good start in life by his parents. They wanted to give him all the opportunities they never had. They bankrolled his education all the way to college. He even studied in Japan and Australia, where he earned a degree from a reputable university. When he returned home, his academic qualification and zero experience landed him a job with a meager salary. But he was optimistic. He would strive to work hard and climb the corporate ladder. Reality hit him hard when all he could speak for after 6 years of work was a car bought on installment, 72 months of 14-hour, 7-day work weeks, and he couldn't even afford a modest home. Exhausted and exasperated, Nick resigned. Nick's situation turned for the worst when he agreed to become a guarantor to a relative's car loan. The relative reneged on the loan after 2 years, and the bank went after Nick. He didn't even have the money to pay the loan he guaranteed. Non-payment would mean he and his relative would be blacklisted by the banking industry. The rigid Malaysian financial system will deprive him of owning property or assets and traveling overseas. He wouldn't even be eligible for a loan to start a business or even own a credit card. Even if Nick eventually paid off the loan, he would still remain blacklisted. Nick's father came to the rescue of his embattled son and helped him pay off the loan. With all his money gone, Nick needed to reboot his work life. He found himself recruited by a company to sell their products door to door or on the street without a salary. He did this for 4 months and earned him close to zero money and a profound fear of rejection. From then on, he jumped from one business venture to the other, hoping one would bear fruit. Eventually, he became a partner of a company that got listed on a sub-market of the London Stock Exchange. But there was a huge price to pay to get there. Nick's back-breaking work ethic literally broke his back. He sustained a spinal injury that required risky surgery, but opted for therapy instead. Nick felt secure owning shares in a public-listed company, shares that he could convert to cash when he retired and traveled the world. So he resigned there and opened a mildly successful cafe. Within 3 years, he was able to open another outlet. Not long after that, a partner from the listed company he partly owned informed him that the company was in danger and needed to be infused with more capital. He was able to convince Nick to loan him his shares of the company so he could negotiate with the other shareholders to pump in more money into the business. Well, I guess you know how this played out. Within 6 months, the company was delisted and all his shares became worthless. This was the second time Nick fell due to his trusting and naive judgment. Nick's dreams vanished in the air together with his retirement fund. The cafe business was a good fallback for Nick, right? Wrong. Business began to slow down after the government implemented GST, goods and service tax. The tax drove the price of raw materials up. Diminishing profits forced him to close one outlet. One day, Nick and his wife assessed and reflected on their financial situation. After many years of working long hours with barely enough time spent with family and loved ones, their bank account contained 10,000 Malaysian ringgits. They had one car and a house with 20 years left on the mortgage. Nick lost big money twice due to poor judgment and lost more in the stock exchange and other investments because he had no idea how to manage it. They realized they were not even near any of the goals. They liked to travel together, but in the past 5 years they didn't even have any time to go to the cinema. As far as covering daily expenses, their finances were sufficient, but it wasn't enough to put some money aside for their retirement nest egg. They couldn't afford another financial setback. Nick and his wife took to the internet to search for money opportunities. They searched for months but could not commit as they were too wary of scams and the thought of losing more money. And then Nick saw an opportunity in his email. It was sent by a person he recently connected in Facebook. He signed up for the free trial and was convinced this was the one and never looked back. By the way, Nick has a degree in computer tech, and his wife is even more impressive with 2 degrees in accounting and computer science. Given their academic credentials and their work-life experiences, what made them gravitate towards the business? This is Nick's answer. This particular company provides us with a lot of training materials and coaches that guide us step by step in the business. Even with my knowledge in computer, I can never do this without the help of the coaches. That is also one of the reasons why I never ventured into any online marketing opportunity. But with the step-by-step guide, I managed to build my confidence and knowledge. Nick continued to share his newfound wisdom with these parting words. I do believe in order for me to achieve my dreams, I need to help others to achieve theirs first.